In this video, I'm going to show you how to play the E chord in the first position. I'm going to help you find the best fingering, thumb, wrist, and elbow position for you so you can play it cleanly and easily. DeGeorge here, and welcome to episode 1 of my beginner guitar series, the E chord. Let's jump right in and take a look at this. Now, when we say E chord, we mean E major. If it's going to be a minor, we'll say E minor, or it'll be E with a lowercase m next to it. That's minor, major. So today we're going to look at the E chord or the E major chord. So let's take a look at where our fingers go. We want our first finger to play the first fret of the 3rd string. Our third finger to play the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and our middle finger to play the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure this 3rd finger here is right up against that fret. And then we want to bring the middle finger up as far as we can too, towards the fret. Will produce a cleaner sound. Same with the first finger, right up against the fret. Now, a couple things to keep in mind here. Everyone's hand is different sizes. Fingers are different lengths, thicknesses, so not everyone is going to play this with the exact same form. There's different forms that work better for everyone else. Now, someone with long, thin fingers can get away with maybe having their elbow out and their knuckles sort of angled like this. For me, if I go too far, you hear that? It doesn't ring out. So what I have to do is I bring my elbow in, and one of the key things is so many people just talk about where your fingers are, but there's a lot of movement that the thumb, the wrist, and the elbow, how that affects your finger. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play here. So if I'm thinking of it in terms of keeping these knuckles almost parallel with the neck, what that does brings my elbow in and it bends these knuckles more, okay? Now another thing to keep in mind is your thumb. If we have the thumb too low on the neck, which if we're making wide spreads, we want it low on the neck. However, here we're cramming a bunch of fingers into a small space. So if we have the thumb too low on the neck, what that does is it straightens out these knuckles a little bit and they're not bent as much and it doesn't ring out. So what I do then is I bring my thumb up. However, when I ask a lot of my students to bring their thumb up, the very first reaction for the majority of people is to bring this wrist up as well, and they kind of roll this back. Well, what that does is pulls your fingers down as well. So one way you may want to try is put your thumb, just find a comfortable spot for up here on top of the neck. And again, this depends how large your hands are. Some people are really going to be hanging over that 6th string, and some people are just going to have it right up here. So find what's comfortable for you, rest your thumb here, and then you want to kind of roll the hand so your knuckles are out in front, okay? And then when you put the fingers down, you want to make sure these first knuckles are bent. Now, if you're not getting all the strings to ring out properly, again, a couple things you want to try is adjusting the position of your thumb, wrist, and elbow. A lot of times, one of the first things people find success with is bringing their elbow in a little bit to help make these knuckles more parallel to the neck. Now, again, you may see someone playing the E chord and their knuckles are bent like this. They probably have longer and thinner fingers and they're able to do that. However, in the case of many adults who are just picking up the guitar, as adults our fingers are usually thicker and less flexible than teenagers or kids. So we're really going to have to make sure our technique is almost flawless so we can get these chords to ring out. So you're going to have to experiment. If you put your thumb up here, put your fingers down, try to keep your knuckles out. Just kind of, don't even push down, just let them there and kind of swing the elbow back and forth a little bit until you see that these knuckles are bent. Again, good thing to keep in mind are these knuckles here, you want almost parallel to the neck if you're having problems getting the chords to ring out, the notes to ring out clearly. However, if you grab it like this and it's no problem, then you just want to go with comfort and what you can grab quickly and easily. But like I said, with a lot of new players, especially adults, it's a little tricky to get these notes to ring out. So a couple things you can do is focus on where your elbow is, move that around. You can see when I move my elbow how it affects the fingers. These knuckles here and your thumb, if I'm down too far, that's going to straighten these knuckles out. If I'm up too far with my palm of my hand up here at the top, that also isn't going to help. Now, someone with large hands, like if you ever saw Jimi Hendrix grab a chord, he'll grab it like this and he has no problem. But a lot of us have to find certain angles for each finger and a certain position for our elbow, wrist, and knuckles. Now, once again, we have this first finger, first fret, third string, third finger, second fret of the fourth string, middle finger, second fret of the fifth string. Now, once you get your fingers down and you kind of find a nice place that feels somewhat comfortable, not everything's going to feel totally comfortable in the beginning because you're just getting used to this. But once you do that, then you can pick each note individually to make sure everything rings out. Now, excuse me, instead of just doing stuff like that, I always try to bring it back to something musical. So what you may want to do is just tap your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we divide the beats up into 2 equal parts, eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we pick like that. We can cover all 6 strings, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you can make sure everything rings out. And it's a little more musical. It's a great exercise just to make sure you have the positioning right. Or you could even do like a 6/8 time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or a waltz type feel 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we could go. Just stuff like that makes it a little more fun, makes it sound more musical, and you're making sure that the chords are ringing out cleanly and you're getting a good tone, good pure tone from each note. All right? So that's the E major chord. So once you learn the E chord, there's quite a few chords that work well with the E chord, but some of the common ones would be just going like E, D, and A, and you can watch my other videos about how to play the D chord and the A chord with that. Hopefully you found that helpful. I also wanted to let you know that I do have a free lesson in the description below on how to switch between the chords quickly and easily. It's not just about repetition, it's about understanding the mechanics behind the movement so you can practice the repetitions properly to ensure much quicker results. So if you're interested, just click the link below and it's yours absolutely free. If you have any questions or comments about this lesson or would like to see a different type of lesson, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you like this video, click the like button, and if you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so YouTube can make you aware of when a new video is released. That being said, I'm DeGeorge. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Peace.